Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's a midweek video. We don't normally get them, but I kind of felt that this needed to be brought up because Sony, that's right, Sony, you know, the ones who make PlayStation, they made a weird announcement. They announced today that I will no longer be purchasing any of their products going forwards. Yeah, we know where this is coming from. Sony have announced as of the start of 2028 they will no longer be producing discs. So that means any Sony PlayStation 5 game moving forwards will not be on a disc from 2028. And I'm going to specifically say discs because there's a little bit of hope here. There's a little tiny bit of hope. I don't think it is. And to me, yeah, that's kind of it for me with Sony at this point. I'm going to be absolutely honest. I bought a PlayStation 5 about 2.5 years ago as a bit of a break-up present to myself, and yeah, I'm going to be honest. I held off even at the time because I was like, there's not really anything I'm really after. There's not really anything I really want. It was scalped to high heaven. And I was like, there's not really a huge amount of games, and I got it. I like the PlayStation 5. I barely played on it. And yeah, they've made the announcement that moving forwards, that as of 2028, they will be no longer doing any discs. We kind of knew this was going to be coming eventually. I just kind of didn't feel it was so sudden. Realistically, the thing with last week with GTA, that had a big hoo-ha about not being on a disc, being a cord in the box, but they're still going to sell the box. And yeah, it's been a thing for a while. Microsoft have pushed and pushed and pushed for years to have the whole game collection thing. I can't remember off the top of my head whether Microsoft have. I don't own an Xbox. I still won't own an Xbox, but it was a really big reason why I didn't get Game Pass, that's what it's called. A really big reason I didn't get an Xbox was because they were pushing for digital. I like my physical media. I've grew up with physical media. I still have memories of going to shops and being surrounded by games. That absolute enjoyment of being able to open up a game, it being fantastic, getting a little map, getting little tips and cheats, getting a manual, and having everything on the cartridge or the disc. Of course, we had a few hiccups along the way. We had stuff like Superman 64, Carmageddon 64, many games that were not great, that probably would be better if they could have had a day one patch. Moving into PlayStation 3 era, we started seeing the push towards digital. Even Nintendo at this point were releasing a lot of their old games as digital only releases. And Sony did make a big push. Let's not pretend this is new from Sony. Sony made a huge push about 20 years ago with the PSP Go. Remember that? That's right, they pushed for a digital only console that many years ago. And at the time, a lot of the shops just turned around and went, yeah, we're not stocking that. We're not going to stock that. Of course, the high street is pretty much decimated now, and the only place you can really buy games is like Argos, Smith's, pre-owned for CEX, or cash converters. So companies, shops, they don't really have that say anymore. They can't just stand their ground and refuse to stock these. But at the end of the day, GTA proved that no matter what happens, people will go out in their droves and buy it anyway. And that's fair enough. If you really want it, you're going to buy it digitally anyway. For some people, lack of digital, lack of being able to own their games is an absolute thrill. I wonder. I always wonder kind of that. I can see why people might say, oh yeah, it's like, you know, the lack of physicality is more suited to me. It's the ones who are absolutely getting off on this kind of announcement that I was kind of a bit confused with, because at the end of the day, one of the big things for me, especially with consoles, is that I like being able to get a nice saving on games. I like being able to go and say, oh, you know, this game is now 20 quid, I'll buy it. Astro Bot for the PlayStation 5. Prime example. I got that at Christmas last year. I paid £35 for it. I completed it, took it to CEX, and I think, I can't remember if it was 28 or £30 trading. I paid about 5 quid to play that game. Ratchet and Clank I got for 10 quid pre-owned last year. Beat it, traded it in for 15. Absolute quids in. Sony don't want that. No. I looked at the prices. Astro Bot, God of War, they're all full price on the PlayStation Store. That's right, they want to take your options away from you. Oh, but people love that. People love the lack of options. Oh, thank you, Sony. Brilliant. Love you, Sony. Do you want me wife, Sony? Oh, do you want me? Oh. And it's kind of, it's just sad, really. And for me, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I've picked up like 3 games this year. This isn't edited or anything like that. Trails Beyond the Horizon, because my PlayStation is basically a Trails machine. This game is also on the Switch too, but it was a game keycard, so I went and bought on the PlayStation. Expedition 33, I haven't played it. This is probably also going to come on the Switch too at some point. I also picked up Stellar Blade, which I haven't played, and is coming to the Switch too. Game keycard. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm probably not going to rebuy these games at this point on the Switch too, but I mean, I've got them, you know what I mean? It's still just silly to rebuy them. Not like I did with Final Fantasy VII and Cyberpunk. But yeah, it's just kind of sad. I mean, these are probably the last games I'm going to buy, and there's nothing really exciting for me for PlayStation coming anytime soon. I don't really care about Marvel games. GTA I was on the fence with until they announced it was digital only, and I was just like, oh, you know what, I'll wait until it's on Steam, reduced. And that's going to be me going forwards, really, unless it's on Switch too. I mean, if it's the choice is a digital version on PlayStation or a game key card on Switch 2, I'm still going to go with the game key card because that's slightly better than the digital one. If not, I'll just wait until it's on Steam, and I'll wait until it's reduced. Simple as that. It's sad. It's kind of sad. It's a bit of an end of an era, really. And I'm sure people in the comments are going to be like either also sad or very much happy that PlayStation is finally getting rid of the ability to compare the market on prices of games. And let's face it, Nintendo's probably going to follow suit. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of very easily able to cut off Sony because I don't really play the PlayStation that much. Nintendo is going to be a big, difficult one. And I said, at the end of the day, we'll probably eventually have to just suck it up. I mean, realistically, I still game as a hobby. If Nintendo decides to go all digital, they'll lose a lot of that kind of way of, I don't know, how do you see it, kind of those blind purchases from me. So, I mean, I've mentioned time and time again, I love going around CEX. I love going and picking up games I've never heard of, trying them, seeing if they're good. And it's just nice to be able to pick up a game here or there and just go, oh yeah, this is a game, try it out. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm not going to try that out. Franchises like Final Fantasy, if I don't have the security net of being able to trade a game in that's bad, I'm not going to try that game. Final Fantasy's Prime one, I'm not really a huge fan of the more recent ones, but I still picked them up and tried them and sold them. I'm not going to do that. Not at 60, 70, 80, 90 pounds or whatever they want to charge, and not have that security net of being able to trade them in afterwards. No, of course not. I'm not going to just throw money away. And it's a huge shame. Stuff like, for example, the fan games like UFO 50 and Victory Heat Rally, stuff like that. I bought them blindly. Would I have bought them blindly on the eShop? Probably not. And it's a huge shame. It's a huge shame. Yeah. Like I said, just wanted to kind of give my own opinion on stuff. Yeah. What do you guys think? Are you all excited for Sony to shaft you? Or are you just kind of bit meh, like I am? Let me know. Sorry for the lack of editing. I just thought I would quickly do this and put it up. See you next time.